Welcome, guys. It's your boy Mdu Makhosini. If you don't know me, I'm a South African YouTuber. I do a lot of content. I like talking about politics, but I definitely do explore other stuff. But hey, today you know, it's a sad, happy for others. You know, well, some people are neutral. But definitely it's an eventful day. Let me just put it like that. It's an eventful day. So I'm definitely referring to our former president Jacob Zuma, currently serving his law 15-month sentence at Escort prison. So yeah, I mean, a month back, nobody could say we thought it was gonna be like this. I think I think June was just crazy for us South Africans. So much happened in June. We have term babies and we didn't have term babies, but so much happened. But anyway, I'm just gonna going a brief summary on the history on how does the president land in prison. How does a former president find themselves in prison. It's ironic, guys. It's ironic because he was part of the people that formulated our constitution, our current constitution, and for him to land in prison because of the very same constitution, it's something else. Hey, it's something else. But I'm generally gonna but I will also have to explain a bit of info on other things. And specifically, I'm talking about the public protector or the office of the public protector, because I think it's very important because they probably are the direct reason. Well, they are not the direct reason, you get what I'm saying, but they are one of the important factors that led to these results. So what they do, they are a chapter 9 institution. That basically mean they are an institution set up to support democracy. So support and protect. So they are independent from other state organizations. So let's say political leaders don't have direct influence on them as they do on other departments. Because you have a minister which is chosen by the president, and the president is chosen by like parliament. And generally the party with most seats get to choose their own man or woman as president. You get what I'm saying? So in a way, they are independent from all of that. So in fact, when it comes to the public protector office, sometimes they end up working to with parliament, giving them recommendations, and these recommendations are binding, meaning they are compelled, they must do them. It's not a matter of their recommendations. That's something that was stated very obviously during the Kandla report, which is an earlier report which was formulated by then current Lord Public Protector Thuli Madonsela, Advocate Thuli Madonsela. So, which is also the same person who finalized a report into state capture, an investigation into state capture, and recommended that, or there were recommendations within that report that they should definitely uh, like open a commission of inquiry, which is like a fact-finding exercise. So a commission of inquiry in itself doesn't persecute anybody. It doesn't have those powers. The only powers it has is the power that it's given by a court. And being like the concord. So commission of inquiry generally are set up to check things that are like huge events that generally generally like affect South Africa. So I think previous inquiry involved I think what truth and reconciliation, you know, the Marikana massacre. So big events, guys. So state capture is allegedly a big event like that because it means like they captured our state organs, you know, they are controlling them in a way. So by the way, generally the public protector can either by themselves as the office look for cases, you know, or you can have complaints from the general public, from anybody, any South African in a way, you know. So that's kudos to the constitution for having stuff like that. I love that idea. So what then happened was that the current president, I think this was the report was finalized in 2009, and then current president Jacob Zuma had to appoint someone who was then chief deputy chief justice Raymond Zondo to chair a commission of inquiry into allegation of state capture. So that's how it started. So the commission started, you know, somewhere in 2018, you know, and a lot of people had to go there, testify, give their evidence. It touched a bunch of topics, you know, but most were involving state institutions and huge sums of monies, you know. And then Jacob Zuma's turn came, you know, and unfortunately it was disturbed by COVID-19. So, but they resume, you know, and Jacob Zuma had to come and testify, you know, and he came somewhere in that this was somewhere in 2019, and then he came, I think somewhere in July, somewhere there. He came for 3 days. While the third day he didn't finish his testimony because they also cross-examined and like ask you questions and stuff like that, and based on the evidence and what you say yourself, and he left in the middle of it. He left in the middle of it, and you're not supposed to do that because it's supposed to be excused by by the chair, you know. So then they tried to get him back to make new dates, you know, for him to come back, and he he was just I don't know what kind of advice he had, and but that's like the crucial moment. I think somewhere in 15, because now it was jumped to 2021, somewhere 15 February this year. It didn't law. It didn't show up, you know. I'm not sure if it's 15 February, but somewhere in February he didn't show up and he was supposed to show up. And then after that, the commission then opened law charges for him being in contempt of court, you know. And they opened those charges at one law, at Concord, which is the constitutional court, you know, it's the highest court in the land. There's no court after that. So now that all happened. It all happened. We were watching. We were watching. You know, South Africa was watching. Some people by now have lost interest. Some people are rooting for the president. Some people are not. You know, tea parties were happening, but a lot was happening, and then they then came out in July. Concord came out with a judgment in July. This was 29 July. June, my mistake. This was 29 June. And when they came in June, we haven't even reached that date yet. So when they came in June, they found our former president to be in contempt of court and guilty, and sentenced him to 15 months imprisonment. And they said that he should hand himself over within 5 days, and if he doesn't do so, the police minister and police commissioner are supposed to use any necessary means which are allowable, permissible, I think that's the word they use, by the laws of South Africa. So which which we all waited. It was so much suspense, but it was, some people were rooting for him. During that 5 days, a lot happened. He tried to file in some submissions and why he should have a stay, but he filed them in high court, which is a lower court than the court, which created some sort of confusion. But the judgment by Concord still stood. So what happened is, when that 5 days ended, the eyes were then now on the police minister and commissioner to use every permissible means, and oh boy, it was starting to get heated. People were now like, no, we're not gonna allow this, and people were willing to like cause a scuffle, but fortunately, by the 11th hour, so this is somewhere between what 11. It was actually the 11th hour. We had news that they are now acting. So he handed himself over, but before just so kudos to the president, and he's currently in escort. And I've heard from ACBC News that he's in like a separate section, and he has specific people watching him because he's a high profile person, So in a way, guys, I feel like whoa, whoa, whoa. It's an event for our democracy. It's an event for freedom fighters and politicians in general. The taps aren't open for anything, and there are limits, and also there are questions of what do we mean by democracy? Is this the democracy that we want? Some people are happy, some people are even angry for two different reasons, right? There are people that are angry saying this is unfair, he's old, there's COVID-19 going on, and he's not like he's going to run away. You get what I'm saying? Some people are angry at the fact that they feel like he's being treated special. You get what I'm saying? Some people have their own personal vendettas in all of this. But anyway, guys, that's what's happening in SA, guys. And that's this whole saga. So, yo, guys. Hey, South Africa. So, guys, that's what I have for this show. It's your boy, Mdu Makhosini. Catch me next time, guys.